Hello everybody, my name's Atley. Welcome back to my SnowRunner Hard Mode Let's Play. We're in the S06E34, weaving our way through the south forest area of Black Badger Lake, where we are going to go and get some logs. Now, having hit this trail, I'm just going to check the map real quick. So what I'm going to be working on in this episode, yeah, I thought so, straight ahead, I've already marked it, is the delivery to the weather station, which requires 1 lot of longs, 1 lot of mediums, and 4 lots of planks. So I'm bringing the Azov to do the longs first, and then I'll bring, almost certainly the cat can come in and pick up the mediums I need. I don't think I need to bring the AE as well. I think I'll be fine just doing the cat, because I think the 2 contracts, I'll confirm this, but I think the 2 contracts that require mediums both only require a single delivery. Now, I need to make sure here that I know where the logging camp is. So I'm coming into this logging camp. Yeah, I thought so. Quite a sharp left there. Got the option of going down here and back in. Doesn't look like much of a trail from this angle. Yeah, that's a nice tip hazard, isn't it? Especially when you got logs on. I think I will have a go at going down and back in empty from the other side, and then come out of this way. I'm not relishing the idea of driving out of there with logs on, to be honest. But yeah, I've picked this contract to do next because it's basically sweeping this map up in the direction of the west gateway into Grainwoods for my migration. Let's see if we can get some logs delivered in this truck without tipping over. Shall we? That's where I want to drive. There's a nice big tree there, so if I cut that corner off, I've got to come in here twice because I'm going to be coming in for loading duties on the medium logs, as well as get that second batch of longs to take back to the sawmill, because I need more planks for the railway track. Let me just put a line on this. Should be able to get a line onto that big tree. It should get me around this corner safely. But again, it's not something I want to do with longs on. Interesting location. Thanks for that, Bevs. Nice challenge. There's more logs here than I think I need. I think there's 3 lots each of long and medium. And I'm only going to pick up 2 long, 1 medium from this site, I think. So anyway, without further ado, let's get loaded. Longs onto the loading platform. 1, 2, 3. Frame mode. We'll get these loaded. Got 1, but have I got it tightly enough? Wrong button. That one out. That looks alright. Camera back out a little bit so I can see a bit more what's going on. Oh, that was alright. Restore the crane. Back the cargo. That's the easy bit. Let's see if we can get out of here without spilling them. Let's get some rope help. Is that a chin problem? There's a tree there, isn't there? Let's see if we can back off it, see if it'll let us. Get some help from a big old redwood by the look of it. Right, the tree's disappeared into the ground, that's good. Now what I intend doing here is driving straight across this T-junction and try and get out through those trees, because I think that's a less of a camber than trying to turn right. I think turning right here is just asking to tip over. I see you, devs. I see what you did. Now let's put a safety line on that big tree. Yeah, definitely the line to take to come out of there. Then probably should think about going left of that power pole to get to the road rather than risking my trailer getting stuck on the power pole. See how that feels. So far, so good. I can't remember what the... Well, actually, I haven't driven up to the weather station before, have I? I was thinking of the house that we have driven up to is here, but the weather station is a bit further along, so I have to go past the gateway, across here. I don't think there's another route. So, it looks like a rocky road. And then it'll be turn right here up into this delivery, and I may as well track it as soon as I'm this close. So delivery to the weather station, track it, and then I'll be able to see my target. Yeah, I don't think I even went up there with a scout. When I was scouting, I saw the trail going up, and from the map thought maybe it's an obelisk type thing that like you have in Kola Peninsula. But no, it is a weather station. The thing on the map is an antenna. Alright, sharp left. And then I'm approaching what looks on the map to be a bit of a rocky outcrop type path. Could be fun. Oh no, maybe it's just these rocks. And the angle of the camera wasn't showing the trail. It was just showing the rocks, and it looked like one of the rocky paths that you have to drive over. This is alright so far. Commentator's curse. Right, swing as wide as I dare. And then I've got to turn sharp right into this road. Bit of winch help to get my nose around. But without it being a tip hazard, if you don't mind. Stick it into low. Get a bit of winch help. I thought about bringing a cat and doing these two in convoy. Loading it up. But no, I think these long logs, my recent experience of tipping this thing over all the time, I'd rather be sat in the cab than have it on the end of a tow rope. Bit of a muddy trail. Just looking at the side route there, maybe I could have gone up there. But I don't know what's above it, so... Plenty of trees to winch from. A couple of porta cabins, porta potties coming in to sight. Where's the entrance then? There's another trail heading off that way. I'm going to knock these cabins out the way if they'll move. Bit weird. I've just not used the road. Anyway, so long logs delivered. Engine off. Let's have a look at the map. Okay, so there's a road there. That join up to that? Is that an option? Or are you meant to go all the way down that way? Shall I check it out? Might as well, hadn't I, while I'm here. Empty. So long logs delivered without tipping over. I'm going to call that a win. Yeah, so there's a rocky road there, but I certainly don't fancy driving that. I don't think I need to either. Okay, so this is, if anything, slightly steeper. But probably is the route that you're intended to drive. But I want to turn left. Yeah, much of a muchness. I think I'm happy with the route I took. I'll do the same again in the cat probably. And then the force when it comes in with the 4 slots of planks. So I'm going to take this as of back to that same logging camp now. Where it can perform loading duties for the medium logs. Trying to get my nose to that big tree. Bit of help pulling my nose around. Perfect. I haven't added up exactly how many planks I need on the other map, so I think I'll probably end up just picking up a bunch of logs and taking them. And if I overproduce, then fine. Cut that corner safely. No hidden ditches. Follow my own tyre trails back in. But I'll go counterclockwise again. I think coming out that way with a full load of logs is not bad. Done it again. I quite like cutting this corner last time. It was alright. I'll get a bit of help from that tree again. I'll try and leave enough of a gap for the cat to get past me. And brake. So I'm going to do medium logs. And then when the cat gets here, we'll load them up. So map. And I'll jump into the cat and drive down here. And I think what I'll do is I'll bring the cat and the force together in convoy. So here's the cat, and as you can see, the Thatcher Force, I preloaded it before the episode started. Just to help things flow a little bit better. So that's got all 4, let me just double check. All 4 wooden planks for this mission. And the Thatcher Force and Phoenix both came down in convoy to this location as part of the migration south. So I will drive with a cat and tow the force, I think. Yeah, that's probably the safer option. But both probably need refueling. There's not a lot of fuel left in this Phoenix, to be fair. I'll do. And then I will run the engine on the Force because it's got cargo and it's a heavier truck. I was dragging the AE around without an engine running, but the Force isn't so easy to do that with when it's full of cargo. And we got a long old drive now. Firstly, to ask the logging camp and go in there with the cat to load up. And then once the cat has got some medium logs on board, we'll head up with both of them to the weather station. I'm on road, but I'm spinning, so I'm going to give it a bit of diff lock even though I'm on asphalt. Probably because these tyres are rubbish on asphalt, so therefore they would spin more here than they do in mud. So this is the gateway into Grainwoods heading south, but we're going to do a left turn, follow our noses. It is coming into dark, but we'll push on to the first logging camp and then driver can take a rest break there. Little bit of a stream to ford, but I think the cat will be okay with this. It's not too deep. We'll take that line slightly south. There's some rocks in the river that give you a little bit more traction. Just watching that Force for a minute. Make sure it doesn't tip over. Can't cope with high now. I don't think so. Yeah, I think a low high with the diff lock is more efficient there. So this is the logging camp that has 2 lots of longs, which I'm reserving for Grainwoods River use. But we're gonna, having arrived here just in the tail end of dusk, as it starts getting a bit dark for comfort. Driver, unfortunately, he's not allowed out of the cab. Tell you what, let's jump out. Let's put him in a truck that's got a actual bed in the back of it. Look, the luxury. That's got an actual bed behind the seats, so driver can get his head down in there, and we will see you guys in the morning. Right, there we go. So drivers walk up, bright and breezy. Time to jump into the cat, turn some lights on, and then start the engine. Get a rope on and off we go. And the Force's engine on. Work it into all-wheel drive. I'll get a little bit more traction. I keep forgetting that this is front-wheel drive, so it's basically 2-wheel drive when it's not in all-wheel drive. So there is an upgrade here somewhere. Is that it? Is that what I'm seeing through the trees there? I'm not going in there with a cat. I'm not going in there loaded with the Force. So if I remember, I'll have to try and do that. If not, I'll just use the Ford. The Ford pickup is still on this map, so I can go and get it then. I must remember to get it before I leave the map, though. Let me just double check the map here so I know where I'm going. Yeah, straight down through there. That way goes to the brick factory, but this trail is fine for where I'm trying to get to. Go that way. I suppose I could have turned right slightly. I think the right path there goes to the same place. So we're going to leave the force here while we go off into the left here and get loaded up by the Azov. Ooh, turned left too early. I saw those tracks. So I've dropped the force too early as well. Put it forward a little bit more. There we go. So we'll leave the force there and do the same anti-clockwise thing. Oh, anyway, wasn't it? Beast. Right. Did I leave enough gap? Just. Perfectly judged. Engine off. Change track. I'm pretty low on fuel, mind. It's guzzling the fuel. Azov's pretty low as well. Uh-oh. Well, we've got the roof rack on the force. So providing the Azov can load and get itself out, we'll be okay. If I have a fuel issue, I guess I can bring the Ford down anyway, because the Ford's got to come and get that upgrade for me. Focus on the delivery. I'll think about fuel after. So, changing to cat. Back cargo. I've just got to get enough fuel with the cat to get out to the road where I can take some fuel out of the roof rack of the Force. So again, I drove out of here in the Azov earlier. Let's not get complacent though about the cat. Because these articulated vehicles, when they're facing in a straight line, are pretty stable. But when they're at an angle like that, the centre of gravity gets a bit weird on them. In the real world as well, they're really well modelled, I think. Having driven the Volvo DM, obviously a few decades ago now, but having driven a Volvo BM, I believe, and also like articulated dumper trucks, Wingate type things in the UK. I think these are pretty accurately modelled. I've seen people tip trucks like this over on the building site when I was a young man. Right, so get myself on the road. And then I'll move the Force up to distribute some fuel for me. Refuel. I'm going to put my entire roof into the cat, and then I've still got over 2/3 of a tank myself in the Force, because it's just basically ticking over while it's being towed. So not very thirsty at all. That's the thumbnail right there. Editor Atley gets very grumpy with Driver Atley when Driver Atley forgets to do thumbnails. Because I've either got to stage empty vehicles and try and make it look interesting or descriptive of what we were doing, or I've got to scrub through the footage of the video while I'm editing it and try and take a screen capture from the editing software. And that just depends on whether I've happened to look at the right angle. Like that wouldn't be a bad thumbnail if I'd have forgotten to do one properly. And then we'll cut that same corner that we did in the way out on the Azov. Going to take the same route up that I did last time and weave my way through those porta potties. Right, so this is a fairly tight turn to take with 2 trucks. I may be better off drop the rope there. Make sure the cat's pointing in the right direction to go uphill. And then pull from here. Not too tight because I don't want it clipping through the logs. So I'm asking a lot, but I want the cat to pull the force. Maybe I drive it a little bit up the hill and then manually move the force into the right position. Or maybe I just manually drive them both up, but no, that's admitting defeat, and we won't do that just yet. That should be alright. The question is whether the cat can get up without a winch of its own. Whether it can afford to share a winch or not. Now that the force is in all-wheel drive, that'll help as well a bit, because it's not pulling quite such a dead weight. Little cat wiggling its hips. This would possibly be quicker to just drive them up individually. So the cat could have some winch help from these trees, but the end is in sight, so we're going to push on. Weather station guys, I can inform you right now that it is sunny. The weather forecast for today is sunny. And when I garage this cat, I am going to check whether I'll put the bigger engine on it. I can't remember. I suspect not. Okay, so those porta potties. Oh, hello. No. Oh, look. I was just about to say those porta potties don't move. They're a hard obstacle. And I've gone and pulled the damn thing over. Right. Medium logs delivered. And then somehow get that back on its wheels and reloaded. Can I get around here? Oh, I just clipped it. Did a fair bit of damage as well, mind. It needs a bit more help. Kept one of them on board. And blimmin' nuisance. Those things are titanium porta potties. Yeah, it took out a tyre. Oh, I've got no suspension left. That took out all of I don't know how many points I had, but I don't have any left now. Let us see what we can do to get this reloaded. I probably need to bring the Ford to fix my suspension. I know that looks a bit weird, but I am deliberately putting the one that's closest to me, not picking it up yet. So pack those two, and then because I want to be able to winch that one, which I didn't think I would be able to do if the other one was in the way, because it only seems to let you pick up the closest one. I'm trying to do this without taking the trailer off, basically. Right, unpack, repack, that's 3. And then the other one, in comparison, should be a bit easier. This crane is just about long enough to reach that trailer. Unpack, repack, restore the crane. I've got no repair points, I'm sure. No, I haven't. Oh, my gas tank's leaking as well. No, it's not. It's damaged badly, but it's not leaking. Right, well, I'm going to have to start the next episode. I've got no suspension, so even just pulling in here might be a bit difficult. I've got one wheel broken completely and no suspension. So I'll have to start the next episode bringing probably the Ford to do some big repairs on this before I can drive it out. But I think I needed a fuel rescue anyway. So we're back on our wheels and we managed to get the delivery done. What am I like? I did not expect titanium porta potties to take out 300 points of suspension and a wheel. But there you go. So this will complete this. So we've started and finished a contract in one episode. I haven't done that for a long time. Usually they drag over several episodes because of the order I do things. But let's get 4 lots of planks delivered. Delivery to the weather station. Thanks, you saved us. We don't cut trees here. It's good we have lumber yards nearby. Just over 9 grand. So that pushes us to $230,000. I keep calling them dollars. I suppose they are dollars. But I will need to come in here with a repair truck, basically, before I can do anything else. And then in terms of what's left on the map, we've got trees to small houses where we delivered the logs to the north house. We now need to bring 1 lot of mediums and 4 lots of wooden planks. So the force goes back to the sawmill. The sawmill has got 14 planks in stock, so enough to do that. The Azov will take a batch of longs from here. The cat will probably just take mediums from here. I don't think I need that many mediums, and I'm taking mediums for this contract. I could always get a second set of mediums if I did need them in the sawmill. And then both lots of longs from here will go into the other map. And then Titans is on the other map. Trax is on the other map. We finished all of the paper mill and we finished all of the tasks. So it is that contract and taking 2 lots of longs from the logging station into Grainwoods for a task. And then we're done with Black Badger Lake, which I think is pretty cool. So next episode, I will start with a Ford pickup truck coming in here. I have to make sure I've got enough repair points for it. Just out of interest, how many do I need? Repair points. I need 525 to fully repair plus a wheel. I know I've got wheels, but don't know if I've got that many repair points. So that'll be the start of the next episode, but I'm going to wrap this one here. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for getting to the end. I hope to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, thanks and goodbye.